retro gaming fans, welcome to Rate My Gadget. Today I've got something very, very exciting to share with you. This is the Miyoo Mini Plus. It's been talked about and you'll probably see it on chat forums if you're looking at retro gaming. It's the ultimate in pocket retro console. However, is it any good? Stick around to find out. So I do a review of the Mini Miyoo compared to the RG35XX and for the Capcom Super Pocket. So please do head over to our channel if you want to see that. We're going to cover everything you need to know from design, build quality, performance, game compatibility, and whether this little device is worth your hard-earned cash. So first of all, let's do the unboxing. This is £80, and with the unboxing, it comes in a neat compact box, which includes the console, USB charging guide, and a screen protector, and quite nicely, a protector. So it has pretty much everything you need, whereas other retro handheld devices, you may want to be buying a protector for it. So you have to account for that in the cost of it. So for £80, which is equivalent to the RG35XX, you do get a case as well. First impressions, it's small, it's tiny. It's slightly bigger than the original Miyoo Mini, but small enough to still fit in your pocket comfortably. If I show you against an Xbox controller, you know, it's not too bad. You can get smaller devices out there, but I think overall it's got quite a good weight and it gives it quite a premium feel. It comes preloaded with an SD card full of games, which is always good. So let's carry on with the design and build quality. The design of the Mini Miyoo is one of the selling points. It's got a good nostalgic look, and a lot of them have gone with this kind of design. D-pad, even with the same colour buttons. If you were a retro gamer that had a Game Boy like me, the originals, you'll see that they've gone for a very similar kind of colour look of the later clear Game Boys. You can get different design to this. They've gone for the rounded bezel at the bottom and the speaker. So they've definitely gone for that retro look, which is probably more tailored towards the elderly individual who may remember those 1990s Game Boy. And I'd also say, having played this compared to RG35X and others, the actual feel of the controls is very good. Playing games like Street Fighter, I found it tremendously easy to pull off a lot of the special moves. On the front, you've got a 2.8 IPS display, bright, sharp, excellent viewing angles. All the buttons are very effective. On the bottom, you have a headphone jack, you have the SD card, and you have the USB-C, and that is it. Okay, on the back of it, you've got these shoulder buttons as well. If I'm honest, I don't particularly like the way that the design is, in which they've got this kind of strange arrangement where I'm having to do this. Why they didn't put them up here, I don't know. Let's talk performance, and unfortunately the Mini Miyoo does let itself slightly down here. It's a dual core processor and has 128 megabytes of RAM. Now, that may not sound a lot, but for retro gaming it's more than enough. However, when you compare it to the RG35XX, which is the same price as this, and it has 256 megabytes of RAM, it means that it's more future-proof if you want to put more heavily emulated games on there. It does, however, with the games on there, handle the emulations like a champ, from NES to SNES, Game Boy, even PlayStation 1 titles. Emulation smooth, minimal lag, very little stuttering. The operating system is easy to navigate, making it quick and painless. However, there are some bugs in it which I don't like. So for example, if I go to games, and I go to games here, you will see that annoyingly they put the games in this random number order, not in alphabetical order. And when you've got over 6,000 games on here, you're going to get quite frustrated if you need to find it. The other thing that I really dislike about this in operating system is when I go to turn it off, it doesn't turn off automatically from just hitting the power button and holding it down like most phone and devices. So you have to hold the thing down, and then eventually it will come up with another prompt telling you, do you want to turn this off, A or no? Well, of course I do, I've held the button down. And this is what frustrates me with the operating system, because sometimes you may want to just quickly turn it off and turn it back on. It doesn't have that functionality, and I don't know why they did that. If I just cancel that. So I've also found that sometimes the operating system can be a bit glitchy. When I hit the menu button, in this case, it tells me that I can exit the game. In other cases, in other games, I've lost that ability. Don't know why. It seems to be a bit hit and miss. It might just be the device. And it really frustrates because then you have to turn off the whole thing and turn it back on again. The Mini Miyoo Plus is loaded with a huge amount of games, you know, over 10,000. You can also load games if they're not on there from the SNES, Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Mega Drive, PlayStation 1, just name a few. But out of the box, you don't need to load any ROMs onto the SD card. It's already there. The process of this loading up and starting is seamless, and they've obviously gone for that user-friendly feel rather than you having to take this and start putting emulators on it. You can also, with the SD card, expand that massive library of retro games if you want. It's small, pocket size, and battery life. It comes with a 3000 milliamps per hour battery. So you can expect around 5 hours of continuous play. I found I was getting less than this, and the reason I was getting less than it because it didn't always shut down on me. And that was probably my fault as a user, but I was finding that I thought as soon as I hit the power button, the thing was off, whereas actually it was in standby mode. So I was wondering why I wasn't getting the battery life. Once I started playing it and turning it off properly, then I was getting the battery life. However, the USB-C port does give it a real quick and convenient means of charging. Whether you're gaming on the go, want to chuck it into your bag, it's going to last pretty much the whole day. Pros and cons, it's portable. It is portable. Some people would argue it's bigger than they would want. I would say that compared to the RG35XX or even the Capcom Super Pocket, this is the smallest, but it still has a really good screen. A bright and vibrant display on it. It's got quite responsive, comfortable buttons. I do like them. The back buttons are a little bit frustrating on the shoulder, and they are in no way regulated. They are an on-off button push, so they're not regulated in any way. The good battery life and a smooth emulation, and it's quite a decent price because you get a case with it. Here are the cons, however. Even though it comes with a case, I think because of the 128 megabyte RAM, it does slightly let itself down against other devices that are in this £80 category. Although the games on here have no stutter, no lag, and even this one, Tekken, for example, on the PlayStation, plays very effectively and very well. A risk that going into any PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3 games, you will potentially come up an issue because of the lower RAM. The other big con is the quirky operating system. So it seems to, in some cases, work effectively and then all of a sudden it won't. I also dislike the fact that the games aren't in alphabetical order for selecting. And as I said earlier on, to turn it off, you have to go through this strange process of hitting the power button and then confirming that you want to turn the device off, which is tremendously frustrating and led to me having lots of instances where the battery would run out on me because I hadn't shut it down properly. All of that said, however, I would say the Miyoo Mini Plus is still a fantastic little device. For £80 with a case and with all these preloaded games, there's not a lot you can go wrong. And a limited RAM means it's maybe not built for more demanding emulation. However, for the price and portability, it's really hard to beat. I hope that's helped. Please do like, please subscribe. Always willing to hear some comments from you. So thanks for watching.